Australian football is poised to graduate to the highest strata in the world game, shaking off the tag of a nation that's almost strong enough to compete with the very best. Good evening, Australia. Now is the hour for Australia to clinch its place in the World Cup finals. It's agonisingly close, but still Iran blocks the way. We check now on the starting 11s. An attack for Australia. Melbourne boy Mark Viduka is a genuine target man, the perfect foil for the new jewel in the Australian crown, 19-year-old Harry Kewell. Ned Zelic provides the guile and style in the centre of midfield. Craig Foster on his right is such an industrious player, while Aurelio Vidmar on the left is a proven goalscorer who, along with Robbie Slater, is keen to atone for a quiet game a week ago. Stan Lazaridis at left back is the only change. His groin is now fully recovered. Tobin, Moore and Horvath are looking almost impregnable the more they play together. Mark Bosnich is the last man in defence. He's one of the best goalkeepers in world football. Iran have been able to significantly bolster their side with the return of one player from suspension, Karim Bogheri. He plays in the centre of midfield, but he influences the entire ground. Coach Valdir Vieira regards Bogheri as 40% of his team. In attack, two outstanding players will link up. Ali Daei provides a real aerial threat to Australia, while Kodadad Azizi is short, skillful and lightning fast. The other dangerman is Mehdi Madavikia, who'll play wide on the right, and at 20 years of age is a future world star. The captain is the goalkeeper, Abadzadeh. Extravagant, brilliant, but his showmanship may cost him dearly one day. Well, the MCG is famous for staging great battles in numerous other sports, but not since the Olympics in 1956 has the entire planet been watching this superb arena so closely. A magnificent shot of the football pitch tonight as we observe the two captains. Alex Tobin, the only Australian-based player in the starting 11 for Australia, on the right, with the goalkeeper for Iran, Abadzadeh. Outstanding player, the Iranian goalkeeper, but the referee tonight is a very familiar face for all football followers in Australia. Shandor Pool and his team from Hungary. He refereed this very match 4 years ago when Australia drew 1-1 with Argentina at the Sydney Football Stadium. He also refereed the World Cup final in the United States 3 years ago. That's a measure that he is an official of the highest caliber. Final pre-game checks from a referee who's used to the big occasion, but even he will be excited at the prospect of this game here at the MCG. This is it. 11 months ago, Australia's quest for France '98 was placed in the hands of an Englishman. Terry Venables arrived with a larger-than-life image. But 13 games later, with 12 wins and a draw under his belt, he has totally encaptured his adopted football country. But his entire standing in Australia will be judged on the following 90 minutes. And with me to savour a great moment in football is my co-commentator, Johnny Warren. And the ball's come across, an early chance for Australia! Abadzadeh with an outstanding save from Aurelio Vidmar. That could have been the start that Australia wanted. Well, it was a golden opportunity too, and here's the second. Vidmar again, still Aurelio Vidmar, over the bar. Two chances in the first 60 seconds to Aurelio Vidmar, who's renowned as one of Australia's sharpest shooters. And early nerves, you would suggest there, Johnny Warren, to a great finisher.
Well, the reputation of Iran is they're not good travellers, but this is a terrific start for Australia. They were up against it for long periods last week. The only comment is that those opportunities are few and far between in world-class football. You really got to put them away, but a good start by Australia.
Slater with the corner, a goal! No, just past the post. Well, it's a free kick for a foul on the Iranian goalkeeper, Ahmadzada. But Slater's corner was awkward for the goalkeeper. He came, but he couldn't get there. Aurelio Vidmar fouled the goalkeeper as Viduka came in. Well, there were complaints last week that Aurelio Vidmar wasn't in the game enough, but he's been totally dominating the match here. We've only had 2 minutes.
The boot's on the other foot this week. The pressure will be on them all the time. But Ahmadzada, the captain here, he's noted for this type of thing, feigning the injuries, wasting time just to allow his team to get their composure back.
There's an extroverted risk taker. And it's a match in which both sides need to take some risks. Australia can't afford to sit back and hope that the 0-0 draw will be enough. Iran have to score here. If they don't score, Australia will go through. Lazaridis. Sadavi won it back for Iran. Azizi, clever little ball out wide to Astili. Away by Horvat, somewhat nervously, a little anxious to clear the ball forward. And the understandably frightening first few minutes of the game as Slater burst down the right-hand side. A great move from Australia, awkward cross, and Kuehl was working his way to the near post, but it's clearly a corner, despite the protests of the Iranian keeper Ahmadzada. Slater and fine fettle down the right-hand side. Kuehl will take the in-swinger with the left foot. Scored his first goal for his country last week. Ahmadzada, easy take for him. No, he's missed it off the line. Well, it should have been an easy save for the goalkeeper, but Australia, well, that's 3 chances in as many minutes here. Ahmadzada totally lost it. Great ball came in and it was saved off the goal line.
Well, like many keepers, Ahmadzada is suspect off the line, but his role is he's the leader of this team off the field. He's the captain on it, and he does influence the players a lot now. His attitude to what's going on now is going to have a big influence on what's going to happen. He's really got to keep it moving, because the other players will start to get into the rhythm of which he's capable of inside him.
Well, can Ahmadzada recover from the start that he has had? And it hasn't been a good one, which is great news from an Australian perspective, of course. Viduka wriggling away from a couple, touching it out wide to Aurelio Vidmar. He's got Lazaridis through on the left-hand side. That's a great ball, Stan Lazaridis in behind. Another chance for Australia. Well, takes it with one hand. Venables on his feet. Half of the MCG in line with him as we take another look at the relaxed save there from the goalkeeper. He is supremely confident. Many say overconfident.
Well, the story with him, Paul, is that he does, whether Iran are going to use him in free kick situations, he's the best free kick specialist, like Jose Luis Chevalier from Chilevere, I should say, from Paraguay. But you just sense he's going to either be the hero or villain for Iran tonight.
Kuehl winning the throw for Australia on the far side. The rising star of Australian football, just 19 years of age. He started off as a left fullback. He made his debut for Australia as a left fullback. He's playing just his 5th game for his country tonight, but he's got his place on the side now as an attacker. And Aurelio Vidmar going through again. Still Vidmar. Well, everything is falling to the feet of Aurelio Vidmar, and you just wonder how it's affecting his confidence with these chances that are going begging.
Well, the important thing is getting the chances. I know he would love more than anyone else to put them away, but he's in a much freer role this week, and that's the ideal role for him. The fact that he's had 3 opportunities in the first 6 minutes is terrific stuff for Australia. Ideally, of course, to finish them, but Iran, knowing what it's like now, how the Australians felt last week. This did happen in '73, Paul. It was quite a convincing win for us at home, and struggled away, but good signs for Australia so far.
Back in 1973, goals from Alston, Abonyi and Peter Wilson defeated Iran by 3-0. See Australia march on to the World Cup finals. Vidmar now on the left-hand side. That's an Australian throw. We've had just under 7 minutes gone here at the MCG. It could so easily have been a different scoreline than the one we have. Australia 0, Iran 0. Kewell wriggling away, winning the corner. Sadavi is the man who gave the corner away for Iran. Came into the Iranian side last week for the first time in a number of games. Slater with the corner. Abadzadeh, good punch this time. Foster. Deep ball. Slater's onside. Another promising attack here from Australia. Viduka was the target in the centre. Foster again. Just harried off the ball, but the ball goes to Harry Kewell. Working down the right-hand side, 2 men on him. He's a tricky player, Kewell, but he was just outnumbered there. Iran finding some composure in defence and playing their way out very nicely indeed. Moore just waited there for the throw into Cumber's way, and that's a foul. A clear foul as well by Moghetti.
And the first touch by him, 7 minutes, that the player expected to do a lot for Iran. That's his first touch. And not on the ball either.
Lazaridis with a bit of freedom down this left-hand side, lengthening the stride a bit. It's a great ball across. Viduka's there, loose ball. Kewell off the line. Well, it could be 3-0.
And that's the reason we all glad to see Lazaridis back. That's what he's best at. Gets behind defences, gets the quality cross in. And I'd say more than 3, Paul, actually.
What a save there.
I think 4 or 5 maybe. We're going to crack them soon.
Pashanzadeh on the goal line. Australia desperate for the opener. Header here, over the bar. Yet another corner for the Socceroos.
Well, a boxing match, Paul, you'd stop the fight, wouldn't you? It is so, Australia's so dominant. This is what home and away in our type of football means. I mean, it is quite different to play away from home. We saw it for Australia last week, but certainly for Iran this week. They are just nowhere. Australia has them on the ropes.
Oh, that was brilliant from Lazaridis, still galloping down that left-hand side. It's a goal kick. And that's why Stan Lazaridis has been injected into the Socceroo side. He was almost ready to play a week ago. His groin had recovered, but Terry Venables decided just not to risk him, to save him for tonight's match. He came on in Tehran as a substitute. Abadzadeh in no hurry to take the goal kick. It's a long, long way to go if they're thinking of stalling. And the entire match has been played in the half of the Iranians. One in the air by Lazaridis. Viduka nodding it on. Kewell couldn't quite get on the end of the flick on from Mark Viduka. Viduka, a Melbourne boy who's never been to the MCG before. This is his first occasion. Australia are so hungry for this. Viduka using his body. Foster took over. Viduka's on the gallop down the left now. Kewell's the only one in the centre at this stage. It's another corner. Well, Iran have already blown 3 chances to qualify for the World Cup finals. Twice in their group matches, if they'd managed to find a victory, they would have gone to France. Then they lost the 3rd versus 4th playoff against Japan by 3 goals to 2. Slater flicked on at the near post. Free kick to Iran. Alex Tobin playing his 100th game for his country tonight. It's his 71st international match. That's a foul by Viduka. Still Bogheri yet to get involved from an Iranian point of view. There's a Steely there. who was fouled from behind by Mark Viduka. The treatment required for the Iranian number 9 as we take another look at the tackle from behind. It was a clear foul, but nothing too sinister in the challenge by Viduka. I guess one of the worrying things for Australia, John, is the fact that the chances haven't gone in and Iran could come back into the game.
Yeah, but they are making the chances. I mean, of course, we all want them to go in, and they should have been in, but that is part of the game. The important thing is that the way Australia started, and they are creating chances. They've got Iran off the back foot. They've just keep that pressure up, keep what they're doing now, because Iran do not have time to breathe. Much the same as we had in the second half last week, but this is even more so. Incredible pressure from Australia. Keep them there. Good work on the flanks, particularly Lazaridis on the left. Vidmar in a freer role where he's able to exploit many gaps in the Achilles heel of Iran, which is their defence.
Kuhl couldn't get the crossover there. This is Australia's 77th World Cup match. They haven't lost a World Cup game at home since back in 1981 in Sydney when New Zealand beat them by 2-0. That was 22 matches ago. As the ball comes in, Ali Daei, the danger man in the air for Iran, can't get there. Vidmar helps it on, looking for either Viduka or Kuhl to come to get the ball. Iran now with their first moment in attack, a long-range effort, and the ironic cheers from the NCG crowd for the wild effort there from Sadavi. Well, a real contrast to a week ago when Sadavi just tormented Australia in the opening 15 minutes. He's barely had a kick so far tonight. Bosnich has had just one touch of the ball. Kuhl chasing. It's a nice little touch inside from Bogheri. Iran struggling to find their rhythm. Karim Bogheri, there he is, the danger man for Iran. He scored in all 5 of Iran's first 5 group matches when they went to the second round of the Asian playoffs. 6 goals in 5 games. He even scored 7 goals in 1 game once against the Maldives when Iran won 17-0. Australia win the free kick. About 30 metres out from the Iranian goal. We're just under the quarter of an hour mark, and Zelic and Slater are just having a chat to the referee, Shandor, complaining that the pressure of the ball is not up to scratch. As is the rules by FIFA in international football these days, a number of balls must be spread around the pitch to keep the speed of the game up. As the cross comes in, Kuhl's underneath it. Abidzada came off his line and kept his eye on the ball all the way. Sadavi given straight to a yellow shirt. Lazaridis again. Still Lazaridis, a little bit lucky with the bounce, but he's prepared to chase anything. And the loose ball from Iran, he's given it straight to Vidmar. Iran looking very nervy indeed at the back, but they come away now. Kuhl was backtracking there, and there was just no room to operate for the number 2, Mardavikia. Kuhl turning, great little layoff from him. Zelic with the ball over the top. Viduka prepared to chase, shielding the ball well. Still Viduka, now waiting for an opening. That's a great ball onside. Vidmar's gone down, and he's gone around the goalkeeper. Well, that looks to me like a goal kick. Despite the cheers from the crowd who were anticipating a penalty. Magnificent ball in behind there from Viduka. Totally taking out the defence. Vidmar got to the ball first. And that's the reason why it wasn't a penalty.
Vidmar's running into the gaps is causing Iran all sorts of problem, and the service to him is first class.
Nice bit of skill there from Sharudi. There's Azizi. A real thorn in Australia's side a week ago, Azizi. He's scored in the last 2 games for Iran. So they've started to just find their feet a little bit under their new coach, Valdir Vieira. Remember, he's only been in charge of the side for 3 weeks, so the longer he has with the team, the better they should get in theory. There's so much disharmony within the ranks of Iran under the previous coach, Kohan, but Vieira, the softly spoken Brazilian, has calmed things down. And Ali Daei looking to liven things up for Iran forward. Moore tracking him all the way. Ali Daei, a real danger man, still Ali Daei. Australia trying to surround him. Azizi was waiting in the centre. They clear the ball away, the Socceroos, but it goes straight to an Iranian. Well, hesitation there. Moore, the quickest to react. Sharudi remonstrating with his striker there, Bosnich, as yet fairly idle in the Australian goal. Akhpur. Sadabi inside, flicked on, looking for Madavikia down the right-hand side. Madavikia all over Craig Foster there, who stuck to his guns. See the shirt pulling there, and Foster was giving as good as he was getting there, which is a real trait of the Australian side. Duka looking to flick it on to Kuhl. It's a nice layoff to Sadavi. Still no way forward for Iran. Australia totally comfortable in defence at this stage. It's a clever ball over the top. Sadavi will get there. Foster is chasing hard. Still Sadavi. Danger for Australia here. Played across, away by Alex Tobin, the captain. Oh, that was a brilliant work by Lazaridis to win the ball in the tackle. Zelic lays it off to Slater. Down the line to Harry Kuhl. Inside to Zelic, charging forward. Still Zelic. Well, that was a good tackle. Zelic challenging for the ball and finally wins the free kick. What a clash there between the two playmakers for both sides. Kenan Bogheri going down with Ned Zelic.
And Zelic is winning that one. Seen very little of Bogheri.
Duka couldn't keep the ball in.
But what a game Lazaridis is having. I mean, that tackle on to win the ball from Azizi there in a very dangerous situation. We've seen in an attacking sense his defensive work first class as well.
Here he is again. Stan Lazaridis will go back to Horvath, the sweeper. Just lofts it forward. A little bit of a hopeful ball there from Steve Horvath. It was swallowed up by the defence. There's plenty of height in the Iranian defence. Azizi chasing down the left-hand side, but couldn't keep it in. Every little moment of the game is going Australia's way so far. Iran not renowned for a side that gets results away from home. But when you're as desperate as they are to qualify for the World Cup, anything's possible. They are still confident of achieving a result here, the Iranian camp. But I'm sure they were as daunted as the Australian side was a week ago when they walked into a jam-packed MCG. First ever international soccer match played here with an Australian side involved. Kuhl lost out to Pashatzadeh. Australia win the ball back, but they are forced to concede the throw. We've had 21 minutes gone here at the MCG. Australia 0, Iran 0. Kuhl just chipping away at the heels of Bogheri there. Iran now have a bit more room to operate down this right-hand side, but they've given the ball straight to Lazaridis, who goes past a couple. Still Lazaridis, Viduka rushed his pass somewhat. Again, a quality opening created by Australia, thanks to Stan Lazaridis. Hesitation here, Bosnich right on the edge of the penalty area as Ali Daei was coming in. He stood his ground. He was standing on the one spot for all of 3 or 4 seconds there, Mark Bosnich. Such was the anticipation that the Aston Villa goalkeeper has. Zelic hasn't been involved much so far. Foster, Lazaridis. Well, they're shaking as Lazaridis runs at the defence. Aurelia Vidmar. Lazaridis again, clever play from Australia. Well, you can see quite clearly the stress on the face of Hokpur in defence, and you can also see clearly why Venables has reinstated Lazaridis into the side.
It's not only what he's doing when Australia has the ball, it's the fact that Matavikia, who is one of their key players and directly opposed to Lazaridis, is totally out of the game. In fact, Iran, a fine passing team at their best. Paul, I don't think they've put together more than 3 passes in any one move. Australia really dominating completely, but they've got to knock them away now while they have the opportunity.
This ball. Zelic got a foot in. He couldn't direct it to another yellow shirt, though, but Foster, this tigerish midfielder, battling away in midfield, and his challenge helped to contribute to Australia winning possession back. Lazaridis again. Turning away is Harry Kuehl. Still Kuehl. Good cross in without a lot of room to find a way to get the ball across, and here's danger for Australia. Ali Doyi and Azizi. Yellow shirts funneling back quickly. Still Ali Doyi. Well, Azizi is offside. And that's great tackling by defence. And Australia win the ball back. Well, even when Iran seemed to just have half a yard on the Socceroos, they're snapping away so sharply in the challenge that Iran have barely a moment to try and do anything with the ball. Viduka uses his body superbly. Kuehl's just inside it. No one else forward for Australia at this side. Viduka still going. Foul shorter on Mark Viduka. Great play from the big man. Twisting and turning away from a much smaller, more nimble opponent in Hokpur. Zelic picks the ball up as though he needs to take on the Iranians on his own. He is a likely taker of the free kick for Australia. Aurelia Vidmar over the ball as well, but I caught the Socceroos training during the week and saw Ned Zelic practicing from this very position again and again and again. This is not unfamiliar to him, I can assure you. And on the training ground, he put it in the top left-hand corner on a regular basis. Vidmar takes it this time, though. Now Zelic has a chance. Australia come out, Zelic takes the shot. Well, Ned Zelic, such an elegant player for Australia. One of 2 or 3 players who were a little quiet last week. Free kick again for the Socceroos. The foul on Alex Tobin by Ali Doyi. Viduka turning. Still Viduka. Great play from Mark Viduka. Lazaridis joining in. Can he get behind the defence? Stan Lazaridis pulls it back. And the cross just didn't quite reach the 3 or 4 yellow shirts that were waiting in the centre. But Lazaridis is totally unintimidated by the occasion. It's been a superb start from the West Ham United midfielder. Just over half of the first half gone. Still no score. Australia rather untroubled in defence, but the ball given away by Horvath. Players offside all over the place there, as the defence stepped up very quickly. Azizi there, the former Asian Player of the Year. Mongolian background, which explains the slightly unusual features for an Iranian. Viduka backing in, and couldn't get his head on the ball. Sadavi, a desperate pass down the line, just trying to... Oh, that's a magnificent ball from Lazaridis, just chipping it inside here. Just look at this run from Zelic as well. Kuhl is the only one in the centre. Zelic recognises the fact. Little ball across now. Kuhl's at the back post. His yellow shirts lining up here. Foster's one. Great turn from Azizi. Iran on the counter-attack. Ali Daei, great ball to him, but Moore across so quickly. Ali Daei just shrugging off Moore. But Moore gets the ball back. Zade. Long ball straight to Lazaridis. He couldn't win it in the air, and the ball's run through to about Bosnich. Well, John, the talk during the week has been for very much a counter-attacking style of play from Iran, but it's almost like they've been forced on the back foot anyway. They don't really have a choice, do they?
You half expected it because of the nature of home and away, but I did expect Iran to be more effective. I thought with Ali Daei and Azizi playing counter-attack in front, but they're not in touch with the ball. Credit to that for Australia. They've just pressured them, the quality of the defence, the clean tackling, and they've got them on the back foot the whole game. Iran committing fouls. Bukhari is not in the game at all. Madaviki is not in the game. As a consequence, Ali Daei and Azizi. But full marks to Australia. I mean, the only complaint is that we didn't put the chances away. Here's the man again. Lazaridis having a great game.
Viduka, great layoff to Aurelio Vidmar in space. Still Vidmar, takes the shot! So close there for Aurelio Vidmar. Well, if you're wondering how his early misses had affected his confidence, there's your answer. Not in the slightest. Flashing past the post there of Abedzadeh. Well, it was barely, well, a quarter of a metre away from the top-hand corner.
And that is a bad foul. And not surprisingly, the foul is on our best player. That is over the ball. In fact, Kakpo there lucky not to get a red for mine. That was high. It was quite deliberate.
Well, what can you say? Hokpo fortunate to stay on the park for a challenge like that, but he has been given a yellow card by Shandorpool, which means he'll have to watch his step for the rest of the 60-odd minutes that we've got here. Australia continuing to chip away at Iran with minor victories everywhere except in front of goal. Viduka taking over. Lazaridis ready to come back on, but he'll have to wait till there's a stop and play. Vidmar. Another foul, a bad one as well. Now, what will Shandorpool this time? It was just Stilly, and that was just a blatant hack on Aurelio Vidmar. Well, Shandorpool is talking to Vidmar there about the way he fell to the ground. He's let Lazaridis come back on, and no yellow card for Estili. Iran fortunate, but perhaps Australia can make them pay in the most important area of a football match, the back of the net. Zelic takes it short. Lazaridis, early ball in this time, aiming for Kuhl at the back post. Zelic will get there. Another foul. Well, how many more? Well, it's a different player every time, which makes it difficult for the referee to take any
But they'll run out of
action.
They'll run out of different players. Australia had the extra man all over the park. I mean, the marking, Iran are just in disarray.
Slater whipping the ball in. Viduka. Corner to the Socceroos. Good decision from Shandorpool as Viduka won the ball in the air, but his header came off the head of his opponent who was jumping against him. Kuhl with the left foot. Abedzadeh under real pressure in the defence. When will he crack? Slater wins it. Great win from Robbie Slater, who's far more involved tonight. Kuhl to the back post. Vidmar will get there first. Supporting quickly is Lazaridis. Vidmar on his own. Cross here, Australia! It's Australia are a goal to the good here at the MCG. Just listen to the roar. Well, it was a long time coming. And Harry Kewell has scored his second goal for the Socceroos in just 5 games. Venables checks his watch. And talk about a man who's at the right place at the right time. He's just started scoring for Leeds United in the Premier League in England. He opened the scoring from Australia last week and he was Johnny on the spot again at the back post.
What a great ball from Aurelio Vidmar. The dummy, the cross, the challenge, and then Kewell keeps his goal a game for Australia. And who would doubt? I mean, Australia deserves to have this match over by this time. And Iran now got to come back, and the signs are they can't do it. Australia cannot let up, just keep them on the back foot like they're doing. And it's a marvellous Australian performance this first half. And again, 1-0 really doesn't reflect what has been total dominance by Australia.
Well, it also changes the complexion of the game very much. Zelic was chasing through, putting in a challenge in there on Hokpour, who deserves a tidy tackle from an Australian after the way he's approached tonight's match. But let's take another look at a great moment in Australian football. Vidmar, a brilliant cross. Viduka couldn't get there. If he had, he would have scored. But 2 at the back post waiting to finish off, and Tobin, the captain, was one. But it was Harry Kewell, 19 years of age. And that is a marvellous moment for 98,000 people to cheer here at the MCG. Australia 1, Iran 0. Viduka, time to turn away. Quickly in the tackle there was Horvat coming out of the defence. Viduka, well, the subtlest of shots there from Mark Viduka, but just not quite subtle enough to get under the guard of the experienced referee that we have tonight. But never have I seen Mark Viduka so hungry to challenge and work and get involved in the game. As we take another look at the goal from a different perspective, and that was what Kewell had to size up, and he squeezed it past Azizi. And Kewell has been brought down as we just take a look at that replay. Iran now very aware that he is the danger man. Zelic with the free kick. Slater back across the goal, but he couldn't get a meaningful head on the ball. And Iran have lost 3 and drawn 2 of their last 5 games. They were rated the outstanding side in Asia a couple of months ago. They were clearly the team to beat. Australia by no means restricted to be playing Iran in this match. If they fell in a heap with 3 games to go in their group matches where they lost 2 and drew 1. They were beaten by Japan 3-2 2 weeks ago, and Australia have got them on the ropes well and truly here. But can they finish them off? Viduka wins it back. Lazaridis just caught a little flat-footed, couldn't get there. Horvat forward quickly. Vidmar onside. Foster will put a challenge in. A high foot up there from Sadavi. Just under 9 minutes to go till half-time. Australia with that 1-goal lead. They were in a similar situation a week ago in Tehran before Iran found an equaliser from Kodadad Azizi with 6 minutes to go before the break. They barely had a chance to get into Australia's half here. Well, the flag stays down. Vidmar won't get there, though. Well, the running off the ball from Aurelio Vidmar tonight is quite superb. He's missed some moments in front of the Iranian goal, but he's caused many other problems. Ali Daei wins it in the air. Horvat not prepared to let the ball trickle through to Bosnic. Steve Horvat, who's a Melbourne boy. Great homecoming for him, a player who makes a living out of the game in his European country of Croatia. Kuhl, surrounded by players now. Every time he gets the ball, Harry Kuhl, and there's Karim Bogheri, who's barely touched the football in 38 minutes of the first half. Well, he came into the game with such a reputation, and Australia were a little nervous about him as Vidmar helps it on. Kuhl wins it, still Kuhl. Great challenge in defence. Australia forward now. Lazaridis. Ball to the back post, no one there for the Socceroos. Stan Lazaridis had a real impact as a substitute last week when he came on. He's playing his 21st match for his country. Hails from Perth in Western Australia. Strong challenge in the air by Horvat. Straight through his man, Lazaridis. Chance here for Iran, Bosnic. Well, in the end, it ran through to him very gently indeed, but your heart was in your mouth for just a moment there as Azizi was trying to get past a couple of players on the edge of the Australian penalty area.
It was the first time Paul Bogheri doing what he does, is come forward from midfield to create the problems, but they're saying he's 40% of the Iranian team and at the moment out of the game. But that last incident was the first example of the type of thing that he does. Comes from behind, supports Azizi Ali Daei and creates problems.
Okpor looking shaky under the high ball again. Australia couldn't take advantage of it. Slater is back there. Goes back to Craigmore, back to Slater. Australia showing their confidence when they're starting to knock little volley passes to each other in that part of the ground. That's a brilliant ball from Slater. Foster surging forward. But strong in the tackle was Pashatzadeh. Ali Daei pulled to the ground. They tried to take the free kick quickly, the big number 10 for Iran, Ali Daei. Rated as the outstanding player in Asian football. One of 3 Iranian players to ply their trade in Europe. All of them play in Germany. Contrast to 10 from Australia. Free kick to Australia as well. Less than 5 minutes on the clock before the half-time whistle will go and Terry Venables can get his charges in the dressing room. And as we take another look at a great camera shot there of the stunner from Harry Kuhl. Tobin the first to celebrate. He was right on the spot as well. Sadavi nodding it on. Well, Tobin was having his shirt tugged there by Azizi. Okpor, long ball. Easy again for Bosnic. Well, in contrast to a week ago, Mark Bosnic has hardly had a thing to do tonight, but by this stage in Tehran, he'd made about 3 outstanding saves to keep Australia in the game. Slater nodding it on to Kuhl. Good layoff to Foster. Early ball down the line for Slater. Another good move from Australia. Slater was being tugged. Play goes on. They've still got the ball. Zelic now coming in to support quickly. Men free on the left-hand side here is Stan Lazaridis. Plays it early this time. Viduka using that big frame of his to shield the ball, but it was good pressure from Hokbur. Azarides prepared to chase, and pressure does a lot at international football, and Iran struggling to keep the ball once they do get it. Horvat, little ball over the top. Huel was prepared to just run blindly and hope that the ball would get to him. Iran forward, ball given away. Huel can't get there. Well, there's 42.5 minutes gone here at the MCG. If you've just joined the telecast, it's Australia 1, Iran 0. Ali Daei is about 6'6". He's absolutely brilliant in the air, not just because of his significant height advantage over most of his opponents. He's a natural jumper as well. Viduka flicks the ball on. Already the crowd are calling for the half-time whistle to go. Tobin backpedaling, but just look at the support as Tobin went up for that ball. There were 3 yellow shirts coming in quickly to help him out should anything go wrong. Tobin in quickly, won the ball again. Hokbur forward, Azizi. Flag stays down, chance for a right here, Bosnich is right, good save. Well, the hardest thing for a goalkeeper who's got nothing to do is for him to keep his concentration up, and he had to be fully aware of what was going on there because Maravikia was surging through the centre, this lightning-fast player. But Bosnich has got every facet of the art of goalkeeping mastered totally, including speed off his goal line.
Just a little reminder for us all, I suppose, Paul, there that it's not over. I'm sure that point will be stressed at half-time. It's been a terrific first half for Australia. They've got to go in with the scoreline as it is, or perhaps ideally another one. But for Iran, I mean, they have more work to do than Australia at half-time. The Australia pressure game has been first class. You'll notice the Iranian players, when they get the ball, the pressure, not only on the man with the ball, but those around him, is superb from Australia, forcing Iran into errors. They haven't been able to get their passing game together at all. It's what they're best at, and it's full credit to Australia that they have pressured them out of getting that game together.
Azizi offside, and he looks dejected because he's hardly had a kick of the ball in 45 minutes of football here at the MCG.
He's saying it's not the type of ball he likes, which is understandable. He likes it into the feet. Very, very good on the ground, although he's out of touch tonight, thankfully, from our perspective, as is Bulgari, as is Ali Daei and Mandavikia.
Well, as you can see, we're into time added on here. Free kick to Australia, virtually assuring that the Socceroos will go in with their advantage at half-time.
But a terrific first half, Paul, from Australia in every respect. Lazaridis probably pick of the bunch, but that is unfair in a team game to keep picking outstanding players out. But this tie, Australia should be in France at half-time.
Well, it was a prodigious opening for Australia that went unrewarded. Chance after chance was created before finally Harry Kewell at the far post of the 31st minute set the MCG alight with a half volley at the far post. No chance in goal for Ahmedzadeh. And as Johnny Warren has said, Australia totally dominating the first half here. They've got 1 foot in France, 45 minutes to go. Half time at the MCG, it's Australia 1, Iran 0.
The MCG is resplendent, it's a full house and in a buoyant mood as Australia is 45 minutes away from qualification for the World Cup finals for the first time in 24 years. Iran have been in disarray in that first half. They're down 1-0. One wonders whether they've made any changes. The Australians, with a spring in their step as they take the field for the second half, knowing that it might not be over, they've got to get on with it and perhaps score another one, another two maybe, and wrap this all up. Harry Kewell was the scorer. I wonder what's ahead for him in the second half as he continues his fairy tale. Let's go back to our commentators, Paul Williams and Johnny Warren.
Yes, thanks, Les. It was 24 years ago that Australia announced to the world that it was a football nation to be reckoned with by qualifying for the 1974 World Cup in West Germany, but it's been a very, very long time between drinks. Mark Bosnich was out the entire half-time break warming up with the goalkeeping coach for Australia, Rod Corrie. He was probably kept fairly cold in the first half. He had so little to do. So it's not something that we haven't seen before. Bosnich in action, busier in the half-time break than he was in the entire first 45 minutes. And if he can keep his goal intact for just one more half of football, Australia will be in France next June. And Australia will kick off to start the second half, and not surprisingly, they haven't made any changes to their 11 for the start of the second half. But Johnny Warren, what are the options perhaps for Iran?
Iran, well, one is to perhaps bring Mansourian on, probably Sadabi off, push Matavikia back to right fullback, which I believe is his best position. Mansourian plays wide on the right. Another one for them is Tahami, a young player, very, very fast. But the changes will not mean anything if Australia carry on the way they did in the first half, just dominating in all respects. The pressure game they're playing without the ball is just not allowing Iran to breathe.
Well, it will be difficult not to glance at the watch every 30 seconds as the second half goes away. But a second goal for Australia is what they're after, obviously, to try and just kill off the match and kill off the flagging spirits that is the Iranian side at the moment. An equaliser for Iran would send the game into extra time, where the golden goal rule would apply, which means that the first team to score in extra time would be the winner. The second goal for Australia would mean that the match would definitely be finalised within the 90 minutes. Sadavi. Australia have started the second half as well as they finished the first. Lazaridis again involved. Here's Viduka on the turn, Mark Viduka! Just past the post there. Well, he looked to the referee for a penalty. Well, he's a big player, Viduka. Well, he was pulled back there, clearly. That should have been a penalty to Australia. No doubt about it. Viduka carried on. And perhaps that's why the referee didn't blow, because he eventually took the shot on goal. But that is a rugby tackle.
No question he's holding.
Well, in a similar vein to the first half, when Australia opened outstandingly and missed some chances to really kill off the Iranians early on in the match, it's more of the same here. Kewell wriggling away from a couple, winning it back. The ball given away straight to Slater. Lazaridis free on the left-hand side. Australia go right with Zelic. Well, the more the match goes on with the advantage to Australia, the more that Iran have to do something quite exceptional to get back into it. Vidmar. Well, the ball ran to Lazaridis perfectly. Little ball to the back post. Kewell's there. Back across! Off the bar! Yes, the second! 2-0 Australia! Aurelio Vidmar! We're 2.5 minutes into the second half. Well, the Bulls has seen it all before and remains calm, but you can't say the same about the FCG. It has erupted here. Zada was saved by his crossbar a few moments earlier. But Lazaridis again had no room whatsoever to put in a cross, but he found half a metre. Kewell was at the back post, the Header from Foster was off the crossbar. And Aurelio Vidmar. He is so hot in front of goal for Australia at the moment.
The quality cross from Lazaridis and the smart head back from Kuhl there. Most players in that situation would strike on goal. This is a quality cross. Lazaridis has had Sadavi and Matavicchio all night. That's a quality cross deep. Look at Kuhl now. He doesn't go for goal. He lays it back, gives Foster the opportunity, and Vidmar, who does this so well, getting in. And Aurelio's, we're all delighted for Aurelio to get that goal. He's had a terrific game. He missed a couple of chances early on, but as the true striker he is, doesn't allow it to interfere with his confidence. And we're well and truly on the way to France now, Paul.
Well, there was minor altercation from a spectator and the Iranian goal. He did a bit of damage to the netting on the goal there, and before the securities grabbed him and inflicted some damage of their own on the intruder. There's a slight hold up. The holes in the Iranian goal match the ones that we've seen in their defence tonight, and Australia have exploited them. Well, the ground staff quickly repairing the goal, but Australia, while this is going on, have all streamed over to talk to Terry Venables, just to check on instructions now that the game has shifted its complexion once again. Australia now with a 2-goal advantage. Iran must throw everything at the Socceroos now, which will only leave even more holes and gaps for the likes of Aurelio Vidmar, Viduka, Kuhl. What a game he's having to exploit. Australia 2, Iran 0. The crossbar just looking a little bit shaky under the weight there, but
they better not break it, eh?
That's right. Imagine if the game is abandoned because of equipment failure. Well, the crowd here are buzzing.
This is good for Australia because it gives them time for it all to sink in. I remember in '73 on the way against Korea away, Korea scored their second goal. Australia kicked off and scored within 10 seconds, and that turned that whole fixture around. That it became ended up 2-2, and then the replay, or the extra game, I should say, in Hong Kong. But if Korea were allowed to absorb that they were 2 goals up, that game could have turned differently. So that's why I believe that this is a good period for Australia. They're 2 up, let's keep it up, more of the same, keep them on the ropes, and Australia on their way to France.
What is going on in the mind of El Tel? He's had plenty of chats to individuals while the goal is being repaired. There will be no one on the Australian side that doesn't know exactly what's required for the remainder of the game. We've had the match held up now for about 4 minutes now. We're just waiting. Let's just recap on the second goal here. Lazaridis, well, it was such a tight cross. It was brilliantly picking out Kuhl at the back post. Foster so unlucky off the crossbar, but who's there to finish it off? Aurelio Vidmar is. And just look at the arms go up in the air with the yellow sleeves. Kuhl waiting right there in front of our camera. It's a rare chant that you hear at the MCG. The football songs are coming out now. The flags are out. Over 30,000 flags were handed out to supporters before the game, going right against everything that the MCG normally honours. Horns and drums and trumpets have all been allowed to be brought into the ground tonight. The noise has spurred the Socceroos on. And by my watch, despite the hold-up, we're about 43 minutes away from qualifying for France in 1998. Drop ball. Bogheri in the foreground there. Barely had a kick all night as Kuhl sportingly returns the ball to Abadzadeh, the Iranian captain. Well, the big hold-up in play will only confuse things right at the end of the game when we're all waiting for the final whistle to go. We are left totally up to the discretion of the referee, Shandor Kuhl, on just how long he will have stopped his watch for that little hold-up. Already the referee's spoken to Bosnich about getting a move on. Australia still can't afford to really sit back for the moment. If Iran were to get a goal back, it would really be a very nervous ending to the game. The away goals rule is that if the match had finished 0-0 here, Australia would have gone through because of the fact that they scored in Iran last week. 1-1 would have sent the game into extra time, but 2-2 would give Iran a trip to France. It's a simple equation for Australia to follow. Don't let in a goal and you'll make the World Cup finals. Iran now, what will we see from them? Here's Hochpur. Australia keen to keep applying the pressure. And well won there. Solid challenge from Lazaridis, the ball being given away. It's a high bouncing ball, Moore's underneath it. Ali Daei jumping at him somewhat. Yellow shirts diving into tackles, but one of them's come away with the ball, and it's Ned Zelic. Viduka is going away to the left, he's onside. Viduka, that's a cross. Well, he was looking for Kuhl with the outside of the foot. And Azizi's nodding it on here for Ali Daei, who just clatters into Horvath. And that's a foul. Horvath just glares at him. Ali Daei trying to act a little bit innocent, but it was a clear foul. Kuhl won't get to that one. Slater. Zelic putting his head in. High ball for Viduka to chase. He was just uncertain of where the ball was coming from for the moment. The whistle's gone at a good time from an Australian point of view because Ali Daei was just about to turn on the centre circle with the ball.
And it's Mansourian, a change we thought they might have made at half-time. He missed out by Bogheri coming back in. I don't know it's going to make that much difference at this stage. But I would think Sadavi could be the one to come off.
Lazaridis running at his man. Corner to Australia, more pressure being applied. Foster doing some damage. Well, the third goal now to Australia, without a doubt, would clinch the match. Moore in the centre with his arms up. Vidmar at the near post. Viduka, the big man, at the back post with Zelic. Whipped in, Abadzadeh comes, he's dropped it! Well, just for a moment there, it looked like it was going to fall to Craig Moore at the back post, but we haven't seen any of the clever play from Abadzadeh where he takes on the opposition strikers with the ball at his feet. He's been too rattled tonight. The extroverted character, and it's the number 16, Charudi, who's making away for Mansourian. So a defender goes off, an attacking midfielder comes on. It's a measure of the desperation of Iran now. They're prepared to relinquish a man at the back to try and gain an extra man going forward. Slater chasing, forcing Matavikia back and fouling him in the process. Oh, Mansourian, pressure coming from Kuhl. Viduka across the back post. Vidmar joining in, the ball's still in. No, it's gone out now. Well, Vidmar's saying, what about the foul? But he hadn't heard that the whistle had gone. Mansourian just pressured off the ball there, John.
Not a good first touch, was it? The reason I thought the change might come the other side is because Lazaridis is having such a a picnic against Sadavi and Mardavikia that the change might have been to put Mansurian over there, but on his evidence of his first touch, he's not going to be a big contribution from him.
Oh, brilliant header from Viduka. Kuhl taking on his man. Good tackle. Zelic joins in again. Kuhl so quick to turn and adapt to the change in the pace of the move. Kuhl, Zelic. The back post is Foster coming in. Australia not prepared to sit back and wait for the end of the game to come. They're looking to close out the match now. Mardavikia hardly been in the match. Great player who's been totally overawed by his opponent and the occasion here. Ali Doyi couldn't get to the ball. Slater will get there. Kuhl comes. Viduka gets there. Great play from Viduka to shrug off his man. Still Viduka! All the way, Mark Viduka! Brilliant try! Kuhl still in possession. Corner for Australia. What a marvellous bit of play there from Mark Viduka. He had to do it all on his own. He got past a couple. There was still one to beat in Peravati. The shot came in like a bullet. Abadzado decided it was too hot to handle and he fumbled it. Corner to Australia. Kuhl now, Abadzado off his line. This time he gathers the ball. There's Azizi and Ali Doyi waiting up front. But they can't even get the ball to them. Foster, great work from him. Now waiting for support. Turning away, still Foster. Brilliant play by Craig Foster. Switcher play was looking for Viduka. It was just a little overhit. Viduka now involved, wins the ball in the air. Zelic takes over. Lazaridis has a bit of time. And he's tripped there, intentional foul as well. Now, Mardavikia will go into the book of the referee. More signs that Iran are cracking under this enormous pressure from the Socceroos. Well, that clock is just so deceiving. It's 16 minutes gone, but by my reckoning it's more likely to be about 10 minutes gone of the second half. Ball comes in, Moore! The flag went up anyway. And Craig Moore, the 21-year-old, one of the youngsters of the side. Zelic picked him out beautifully at the far post. Moore got away from his marker, but he just couldn't get his head over the top of the ball.
Indication there, Paul, how rattled Iran are. Three Australian attackers inside their penalty box. Good stuff from Australia. They're just not allowing Iran to even get a sniff of this match.
Viduka wriggling away from one. Oh, look, what a turn there from Viduka. That was quite superb. Foster, Vidmar, Kuhl's free on the left-hand side, but he's offside. The flag's gone up. The referee just hasn't seen it yet. Well, the Socceroos are turning it on now. Mark Viduka has come into his own in the second half with some moments that are lighting up the MCG, and Kuhl here providing another through on the goalkeeper, tight angle. Vidmar's in the centre. Well, a desperate lunge in defence there saved Iran from being knocked out of the World Cup. Pashadzadeh and hurt himself in the process. Aurelio Vidmar would have had the easiest of tap-ins. The knockout punch is what's required. And Australia are winding up more and more for it. Slater will take the corner. But Zadek comes, drops it again. A long throw. Well, Ali Doyi did well to get his body in there before Alex Tobin. There's white shirt surging forward here. Just a hint of nervousness in the heart of the Australian defence there. Mardavikia, that's a great pass from him. Iran dangerous here. Played across the goal. It was a brave leave there. Mansourian, yellow shirt streaming back. Matavikia, well, he fell on the ball, and the danger is cleared. And one of the loudest cheers of the night for the MCG was a simple hack up the park. That's Valdir Vieira, the coach of Iran. Viduka, chance, the goalkeeper's off his line. Well, he was quick enough and intelligent enough to see the opening, but just not quite relaxed enough to take that little extra second. But look at this, another chance for Australia forward now. Down the left-hand side. Kewell waiting in the centre. Viduka, who must be exhausted, he's had so much to do in the opening 12 minutes or so of the second half, and Sandra Poole again checks the pressure of the ball. I don't suppose the chances of him forgetting to stop his watch while these equipment things are sorted out are very high. He's too experienced for that. Vidmar challenging, pressurising, fouling. Iran take it quickly. Here's Hokpur. Hokpur again. Well, he stood on the ball. Everything going Australia's way. A third goal will bring the house down here. Viduka, brilliant little flick over the top. That's class. Foster. Well, that's a great clearance, straight to the body of Ali Daei. The ball hasn't gone out yet, but Horvath is there. The ball's still in play. Pressure coming from Kewell, forcing Pashitzadeh to go back. Here's Peravani, Pashitzadeh again. The constant harassing and harrying from Australia hasn't stopped for one moment in the second half. Ali Daei, here's Azizi. Players running through the centre. Lazaridis will go, well, across his own goal. Ali Daei couldn't get there. Viduka can. One in the air by Peravani. Lazaridis in the tackle. He was expecting to get the decision in his favour there, Stan Lazaridis. Easy for Bosnich. The two captains in charge of the Socceroos ship for France. Kewell turning away. Peravani with a desperate clearance. Zelic now. He's a player who can put his foot on the ball. Slow things down. Moore is down for Australia. Now quickly recovers. The ball given away to Alex Tobin. Lazaridis. He'll go back to Tobin once again. All the way back to Bosnich. Ali Daei quickly. Slater across to get the first challenge in. Mansourian. Well, there's a look of dejection and defeat on the face of Ali Daei. He has hardly had a sniff all night. The pattern of the game, John, is very much established. Australia are not relenting for 1 second, are they?
You just sense that this last period has been Iran's best, and their best hasn't been much to beat because Australia just dominated them so much. You just sense this is their last little push to try and pull something back. The danger is, as they push, of course, that Australia are going to have less to play against at the back and could go ahead by the extra goal. They're tripping on the ball so much. Look at this. That's unbelievable. That's about the 10th time that's happened tonight.
The quality of the MCG surface is something that would be a little unfamiliar to them, I would suggest, after seeing the pitch last week in Tehran.
Well, it is ironic, isn't it? That was the comment quite wide when the game was going to be played at the MCG about the MCG pitch. I think in all fairness it hasn't played a role at all. But after the cow paddock in Tehran last week, speculation was it would help Iran play better. But this is Australia's night. From the opening minute they knocked Iran out and they just haven't let them get up at all. It's been a terrific performance. I know there's a long way to go and a lot of things can happen, but Australia are just so committed. The pressure, look at the pressuring on the ball. The player on the ball is always pressured. Look at this. And it pressures them in to making the mistake.
Slater fouled. Well, there was some concern about the cricket pitch in the centre of the MCG for the game and complaints that it wouldn't be up to scratch, but I spoke to the curator Tony Ware before the match and he was telling me that they didn't compress the area at all. As Cure comes across, Viduka was waiting in the centre. The elusive third goal is what Australia are after. Surely it can't be too far away. Cure will take the corner. Deep one this time. Viduka is at the back post. Back across the goal. Loose ball here. Foster. Great switch from him. Kuehl is onside. Slater in close support. Here's Slater into the penalty area. Chance for Australia. Header across the bar. Foster it was coming in. But Australia still creating chances. Slater with the little dink to the near post. Foster was the nearest Australian player, but he couldn't get to the ball. Lazaridis tried to go through there to get a return pass from Martin Viduka. The ball over the back. Lazaridis will get there first, but he is under pressure, but he was pushed in the back as well. And you just wonder, John, perhaps this pressurising game that Australia is playing, that some of the boys might be just getting a little tired. It's very hard work to do that. Do you think Terry Venables might make a couple of changes?
Well, it is. The players are warming up now. There will be a couple perhaps to freshen things up.
Viduka can't get there. Kuehl through the centre. Back pass. Ahmadzadeh. Kuehl looking at Ahmadzadeh. Bit of talking going on there between the two players. Ahmadzadeh went down, but Kuehl feels that he was the one that was, well, inflicted, if you like, as we take a look here. Ahmadzadeh put his knee up. Ahmadzadeh went down. Kuehl had something to say about it. Well, he doesn't lack confidence for a 19-year-old, does he? Well, that would hardly have hurt Ahmadzadeh, I need to say. Australian rules is the game more commonly played here at the MCG, and Kuehl gets the yellow card. And that challenge was, well, it was pathetic,
no,
really.
That is not right. The referee's been outstanding. That decision should have been the other way around.
Tahani is coming on. The crowd making it fairly clear what they feel about the decision, courtesy of the giant screen behind one of the goals to enjoy the action replays that you're enjoying at home as well. Vidmar almost stealing the ball. Still the pressure comes from a yellow shirt every time, and Lazaridis not only has he been getting forward, but he wins every tackle that he's made tonight.
I don't think he's made a mistake tonight. It's been a super performance from Stan.
Iran really don't know where to go. Mansourian, early ball, Ali Doyi. Moore watching the ball all the way. Great turn from Ali Doyi. Oh, that was a great challenge there by Moore. A little unlucky there. Vieira. What will he do? What can he do? Coach can only influence what goes on the park to a certain extent, and his 11 charges have been completely outplayed tonight. Horvat winning it in the air. Azizi, loose ball, danger here from Australia. Good run this by Iran. Bosnich! Fantastic save there from one of the great goalkeepers of world football. Just look at this. Great run by Matavikia. Fired it in, and Bosnich's reflexes were right off the top shelf. Foster. Slater. Kuehl. Foster again. Slater. Foster. Australia ran out of ideas just for the moment there, but Iran have given the ball away to Zelic of all people. Kuehl got there. Well, off the ball incident on Harry Kuehl there. It looked like the referee saw it, but he's talking to Kuehl with a little word in the air of the Australian 19-year-old. Vidbar working his way back. By my watch, it's about 23 minutes gone of the second half. It's going agonisingly slowly for all Australian supporters, but Tahami is about to come on for Iran. The speedy youngster came on last week as a substitute and really caused Australia some problems, but it's another defender. Sadavi goes off and another attacker comes on. John, they are running out of players to play at the back.
Well, it is. It's the last throw for Iran, isn't it? What about that save from Bosnich? I mean, that's the class of the guy. He hasn't been involved in the game. It's been a dangerous game for goalkeepers because you don't have anything to do, and then suddenly you've got a class save like that to pull off. Tahami coming on for Iran, very fast player. I thought the change should have been made earlier. I did feel that Sadavi had to come off because he's not controlling Lazaridis. He's not getting forward, so therefore not contributing either in attack or defence for Iran.
Azizi given a little bit too much room and time to turn. Ali Doyi going through, danger here. Iran forward again. Two lunging, saving tackles. They've lost the ball. Bosnich is out of his goal. Iran has scored. Bougani has managed to find the back of the net.
Well, that's the man, Paul. He's hardly done anything all night. It hasn't been his game. Zelic has dominated him. He's the leading scorer for them. We've raved about Bougani, and that is one of the reasons why. Thankful tonight he hasn't been in the game as much, but gets in late into the box. And we've got a real game on our hands now, even though Australia have dominated this match completely.
Well, that totally changes everything because Iran only need one more goal now and they are effectively winning the tie. Bougani had the easiest of tap-ins in at the end. It was a great run down the right-hand side. It's Australia 2, Iran 1. We hope your nerves are up to it, because Australia have got to hang on here now. An extra goal would surely finish the game for them. But it can't come soon enough. Lazaridis. Well, Terry Venables is up on his feet now. He's really got to think about his substitutions carefully. Viduka, Foster, Slater just peeling away to the right-hand side. pulling his man back. That's a foul against Robbie Slater. Iran must move the game on quickly. Azizi, time to turn. Quick challenge there was from Steve Horvath, but Iran have got their tails up just for the moment. Australia have some defending to do. Great play from Foster. He's got to go forward all on his own, but no one to play the ball to. Gets past Mansour. Brilliant play from Foster, finding Kewell. Well, there's players warming up furiously behind the Australian bench here. And let's take another look here. There's a great run forward. Azizi, the danger man, into the penalty area. Two Australian players there had a chance to clear the ball. They both lost it. It came off the heels of both of them. It was a bit of a shambles. Played across. Bloggery with the tap in. Hockpour. Good run down the line. There's a Reedus all the way with him, and that's a goal kick and a good
great stuff
moment for Australia.
Look,
sort of decision that takes the heart out of the Iranians.
Well, it was the right decision, but what the quality of the defending of Lazaridis to run him to the line. They say, Paul, the most dangerous score to lead by is 2-0 because you appear to have the match wrapped up. The other team get one back, even though it hasn't been deserved on tonight's general play. And suddenly the complexion of the game changes. Let's hope it doesn't, but this is the best period for Iran in the match.
Ali Doi, danger for Australia here, the flag's down! It's an equaliser for Iran! 2-2 here. Disaster for Australia. That is how quickly a football match can change.
What an amazing game. I mean, we talk about our football, it doesn't count chances, dominance and whatever. It takes taking your opportunities. Iran have had nothing in this match, but let's pay tribute to him. This is a great goal. Azizi, this is why he's Player of the Year in Asia. We missed those opportunities. Iran have taken them. It is now a very, very difficult ball game for Australia because 2-2 puts Iran through. In boxing terms, they're knocked out, but they've just come back. The game is about taking your chances, and as I mentioned just prior to the goal, the most dangerous score to lead by is 2-0. You're there, you're halfway there already, you're through to France. Suddenly 2-1, the complexion of the game changes. And we're in for a thriller of a finish now.
Azizi takes the applause of the many Iranians in the stadium, but the cry of Aussie Aussie is ringing through the MCG as some changes will be made now.
Well, this is the gamble, the coffin nail, they say, for the coach to make the change. If it comes off, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're a mug. Tapai on, he hasn't let Venables down 1 second of his time on the field. And the other one, I think, is Tony Vidmar, is it?
Tony Vidmar has come on. It's Aurelio Vidmar and Robbie Slater who have come off, the two that were substituted a week ago in Tehran. Foul on Ali Doi by Tony Vidmar. Well, it's almost unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, we've mentioned in the commentary on in newspapers and in radio and television about Iran that they are, if nothing else, fighters when they're at their worst, and their form at the moment is nothing like what Iran can play. I'm not talking this game tonight as much as the last 3 games of the qualifiers. They only have to win 1 to get through. They've drawn 1, lost 2. It's difficult for Australia now. They've got to get the rhythm back that they've had all the game, and that may not be so easy.
Well, it's Australia now who are forced to chase the game, push players forward, take risks. About 31 minutes gone is an accurate bit of work with the time clock, but that leaves less than 14 minutes for for Australia to find a winner, and it will be a winner in every sense if they can come up with it. Craig Moore is down, holding his knee. Australia still have one substitution to play with. Azizi is taking Iran, surging forward again. It's a long-range effort, a wild effort. Well, play will be held up because Craig Moore is down in agony on the halfway line, holding his left knee, I think. Graham Arnold is about to come on, but that may change now that Moore... Well, let's take a look here. Well, his knee just gave way. No one was near him. He will have to come off. Now, will Venables leave? Graham Arnold still to come on. Tony Vidmar can slot into that centre-back position. Tragedy there for young Moore. Everything going wrong for Australia all of a sudden. Arnold on up front. Well, Graham Arnold, 34 years of age. This is his last shot at the title. Now Tapai down the right-hand side, whipping the ball into the near posts. Taken off the hands of the goalkeeper by Hokpur. Corner to the Socceroos. The roar goes up at the MCG. Kewell will take it. So many yellow shirts there. One in the air, straight at the goalkeeper. Clean header on goal. Plenty of power. But straight to the hands of Abidzadeh. A chance here for Australia! Arnold with his first touch. Tapai involved again. What a super sub he really is. Brilliant ball back to Arnold. Firing in the shot, he didn't really hit it cleanly. Well, Iran now making a change. Well, they have a player down. Well, a week ago, Iran really dominated the Socceroos in Tehran, but they couldn't clinch the victory in front of their own supporters. It's been a complete role reversal here tonight with Australia totally in control of the match. Up until around 15 minutes ago, as we take another look at the shot from Graham Arnold, which again went straight at Abidzadeh in goal. Still not sure who the player is who's gone down, but it will upset the Australians' rhythm, this, because they've just started to get back into the second half after losing their way. I think it's so many ways. Rashidzadeh is the player down.
A clearance earlier, he pulled a muscle, or appeared to pull when he stretched to give a corner away.
Australia in possession, Iran down to 10 men just for the moment. Sanderpool hasn't noticed the player looking to come on for Iran. And Ali Daei is on the counter-attack here. Australia caught a little short of numbers at the back, and the free kick has gone against Ali Daei as he and Tobin just wrestle for the ball. Astana suddenly waiting to come on. Rashidzadeh, the man who was injured, is back on. Tony Vidmar.
It's all pressure mistakes like that. The boys are really under it. Now you'll see Iran use every second they can to wind the clock down. Whether it's a feigned injury, as we saw just prior. Abidzadeh will come into that as well. Tapai's the key player for us now, I think.
It's a long clearance. Bosnich forced to come all the way off his line. Calm play from Bosnich. Pressure coming in from Iran. Now Lazaridis forced to just go long. Tobin wins it in the air. Clock is ticking away, and because of that hold-up earlier on in the game when the netting was adjusted to the Iranian goal by a intruder onto the ground, we really can't give you a clear depiction of just how long there is to go. Australia need a goal. Tapai involved quickly. Foster, little ball over the top. That'll be swallowed up by the defence. Here's Zelic. Well, Ned Zelic has scored a couple of long-range beauties for Australia in this World Cup campaign. One in New Zealand springs to mind, in particular from that very position. But he couldn't get over the ball there. And the pressure of the situation must be enormous on the shoulders of the players. Iran to make a change. On comes Ostadi Sadli. And it's the number 15, Ostadi Sadli, who is a midfielder. Still not sure who is coming off from Iran. They're taking their time. Well, this is quite amazing. Tahami is the substitute, and he's going off. Well, he's only been on the park 10 minutes, Tahami. His shoelace broke, and he got substituted.
Well, they will do this. This is deliberate and to disrupt the rhythm of Australia. Just not let Australia get their rhythm back. Do anything now to test the patience of the referee, disrupt the rhythm, and it's going to make Australia's task that little bit harder.
Well, there's about 6 minutes remaining here at the MCG. Extraordinary match. Lazaridis still has a bit of fight in him. Little ball over the top. Lazaridis forward. Get the cross in. Where's a yellow shirt on the end of it? Chance here. Zelic won't get there this time. Vidmar cutting inside. Still Tony Vidmar. Three players on the left-hand side. Zelic over the top. Just too much weight on the pass. Australia 2, Iran 2. An absolutely unbelievable scoreline. Horvat now. It's desperate stuff from the Socceroos. Pumped down the centre. Viduka trying to get ahead on the ball. White shirts all around him. Tony Vidmar can get there. Ali Doyi. A goal now to Iran. Would finish off the Socceroos. Match hanging in the balance on the faintest of threads.
And that is the same reason, just to waste a few more seconds, just punted the ball forward.
And in the air by a defence that's winning everything at the moment, and Azizi still, this little live wire. So throw into Iran. Okpur with the throw. Australia must win the ball back quickly. Bosnich, early to Tony Vidmar, the substitute. The crowd goes up. Long ball, Abadzadeh coming off his line. Good challenge there, but well played by the Iranian goalkeeper to keep his eye on the ball. Straight into touch. The ball given back to the Socceroos. It's desperate stuff now for Australia. About 4 minutes remaining, perhaps, if we're lucky.
Well, that's the interesting thing. How much is Chandal Pool going to add on for stoppage time? You would think it's more like about 8 minutes with the injuries and of course the goal, the net.
Viduka challenging, Kuehl supporting quickly. Australian throw. No long throw exponents in the park. Zelic. Tapai, good layoff. Lazaridis, chance to get the cross in. Viduka's there! Will it graze the crossbar? But it never really had the power to beat the goalkeeper, I don't think. It more was a bob header somewhat. And in the action replay, we see clearly it missed by a couple of metres. Zelic did well just to prod the ball onto Tapai, who's it's an amazing amount of touches for a man who comes on off the bench. Viduka won it in the air, but there was no trouble in goal for Iran. Vidmar, great play from Tony Vidmar, getting past his man. Still Tony Vidmar, just lost out in the tackle by Bogarty. He's just a little casual on the ball there, surprising he didn't pump it up the park. Viduka, Zelic, men free on the left-hand side. Zelic goes right, Tapai, little ball in, Tony Vidmar pulling it back, a desperate lunge by the defence. Iran holding up, but it's only just. Tapai again. Foster goes all the way back. Here's Horvath. Men free on the left-hand side. Viduka challenges, the goalkeeper's dropped it. It's a fair challenge according to the referee, but no one there to finish off the loose ball for Australia. Kuehl up to tricks on the left-hand side. They really need something from a man who's inspired at the moment, like Harry Kuehl. Foster, little chip in, Viduka's not there, header, Arnold! Well, it doesn't come any closer than that. Zelic with the brilliant little chip in there. Arnold got there, but Abadzadeh was well placed. Now, there's more going on the park. But Arnold's power lacked accuracy. His header rather lacked accuracy and power as well. But meanwhile, one of the Iranians has gone down, but I don't get the feeling that he'll get much sympathy from Shandorpool. So difficult to work out how long to go. Perhaps 2 minutes.
I'm sure he'll play on. This is quite deliberate, and they'll get away with whatever they can. But how unfair is our game? I mean, this is a game Australia has won so clearly on points. Yet we're behind.
Zelic. Ali Doye, they must get the ball off him quickly. He needs support there, Tony Vidmar. It's an Iran throw. Time ticking away, and it's Australian time, very much so. Iranian bench told to calm things down. Esteli looking to stall. But he's got to take some action against the delaying tactics that are going on here. The ball will be Australia's.
And that's another tactic, just deliberately. Oh, it has come in. I thought he just, the ball hadn't crossed the line and come into play.
Viduka. Australian throw, time ticking away. It's now or never for the Socceroos. The moment of truth has arrived. The crowd goes up. Vidmar loses out. Ali Doye for Iran, whipped off his toes by Foster, who still looks lively. Forward is Tobin. It's an Australian throw, still no signs of the referee looking at his watch. He has a little glance now, just as I say that. Yellow shirts forward in every position. They need something unbelievable. It doesn't come from Arnold. Australia need an absolute miracle now. We've played almost 8 minutes of time added on. The referee looking at his watch again. The match is over. Heartbreak for us.